Hey everybody, it's Sundays with Carter, and this week we're talking about changes again, but we're talking about changes within ourselves. And I may not have as much to offer again in this area because I haven't changed a whole lot, but I'm still going to kind of talk about some things. I guess really I should lay the groundwork by saying in my adult life, I have pretty much been an open-minded, liberal, empathetic individual who felt like, you can't say until you've walked a mile in somebody's shoes. So that kind of lent itself to being open to new experiences, whether or not I realized it. And I guess that first started when I met Todd before he came out. I was a straight female, and all of a sudden had feelings for this individual that was, female-bodied. And all I knew is all I could relate it to was feeling like I had a crush on anybody else. And so we embarked on that journey. And that was no big deal for me. And honestly and truly, at that point in my life, I was an adult. My friends were pretty solid people at that point, and nobody really cared about that either. So once he came out as trans, I really haven't changed. Our relationship really hasn't changed. I kind of already viewed him in all of these male roles. Why are you eating cereal when I'm going to cook chili?
Because I want both.
Anywho, but I already kind of saw him as male, so there hasn't been a whole lot about that has changed. As far as do I behave any differently, I don't really think I behave any differently. Like when we first started dating, I would, there were things that reminded me so much of a male. I would say oh, you're such a boy, or oh, you're such a boy this, or oh, you think like such a boy. And I guess the only difference now is because that was a tender point, and he wouldn't even, admit to himself at that point he was trans. He just really got angry when I would say things like that. But now it's just kind of like, oh, you're such a guy. And he's like, yeah, that's right. So it's just been easier, I guess, to embrace some pieces of him now that he embraces them as well, even though, I kind of already knew they were there. As far as our friends go, he does get treated differently now by the guys. And I wouldn't really necessarily say that any of them have changed, although some of them are probably doing that, because those of our friends, and that's the majority of them, we're already pretty open-minded, so it wasn't really that big a deal. It's just a matter of them getting into the habit of using a new name and new pronouns. Those friends of ours, accepting or non, if they weren't as open-minded, they kind of have remained themselves in this situation. But some of them are growing because of it, as I think we all are because of it. My feelings about gender and sexual orientation, I really have to say that I guess one thing that may have changed about me is while I was always an open-minded individual, if this had not been in my life in the way it was, I would not view it the same way. I didn't know, I was not educated about trans individuals. The only thing I knew really about trans individuals was like Rocky Horror Picture Show. So it's been good, and I've been really glad, in fact, to learn more about it. So I can say, these people are like everybody else. Trans individuals are just people too, and it's been really nice to know that, and to know so many trans individuals who are great people. So my feelings have changed on the issue because no longer is it something strange to me. I simply see it as what it is, someone who is one gender in another gender's body. And I guess my feelings about gender have slightly changed just because now I know that it can come in this form. Sexual orientation, I don't know that my feelings have changed. It's kind of funny, like, even Todd said when we were dating, you're not a lesbian, and all my friends kind of teased, you're not a lesbian, and so then when we came out about Todd being trans, they were like, ah ha ha, I think I've said this before, they're like, oh, so you're not a lesbian. But really and truly, I don't know that that's changed so much how I feel. I guess it somewhat made me feel like, oh, okay, so maybe I am straight. But I think that's just something that varies bi person, you know. I very much believe in like the Kinsey sliding scale, and that everyone is somewhere in between, and I certainly don't think I'm on the polar end of straight.
You're a pansexual.
I'm a pansexual.
Yeah.
I fall in love with people, and I mean, and that's the bottom line because, well, I don't know. So, obviously there are characteristics of male that I'm attracted to, because even though I didn't know Todd was male for a while, I was still attracted, I think, to some of those things in him. And I don't know that my feelings have changed towards my partner. We've been together, Todd and I, for a long time before he came out, and if anything, maybe I think I love him more. I respect him more, and he's blushing, I think, over here. He doesn't like it when I talk all sappy. But, you know, I'm really proud of him for taking the steps to do what he wanted to do, to be happy and admitting who he is and being comfortable in your own skin, because I went through that journey. You know, of course, it was different for me. Obviously, I'm not a trans individual, but we all have to come into our own, and for me, that was a hard process for a while, too, and I had some really hard times, and because of those, I am who I am today, and I'm very grateful for that. And so I'm really proud that Todd can do that, because it's just nice for your partner to be truly happy, and that's all you want for them. I want to go ahead and welcome our newest transcriber member who will be posting later this week, Kadira. And I guess that's really all I have to say about this issue. I have grown as a person, but I wouldn't say that I've changed. I'm just grateful. I'm very grateful for this experience in my life. I think it will make mine and Todd's relationship stronger. I think it makes me a better, more educated individual, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I haven't viewed any of it as negative. So any negativity that may come from it is from people I usually don't give two rats' butts about. That was a weird expression. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.